You can see how close the all-terrain vehicles actually were in position, and now the all-terrain vehicle speeding to the site of the capsule to begin the recovery of the crew. Again, this is a replay of the landing that occurred just over an hour ago, and now a view of the Soyuz capsule. This was prior to the time that the search and recovery forces arrived in the all-terrain vehicle, as they arrived in close proximity to the Soyuz to begin the extraction of the crew. Again, this is a replay of the extraction of the crew from the Soyuz TMA-15 capsule. You're looking at the extraction of the Soyuz commander, Roman Romanenko, completing his first trip into space, 188 days in space, 186 days on the International Space Station, second-generation cosmonaut, following in the footsteps of his father, Yuri Romanenko. With a big smile and a big wave, Romanenko carried a short distance into the all-terrain vehicle. He was followed a short time later by Bob Thirsk, and then finally by Frank De Winne. All three crew members again reported to be in excellent shape, doing very well. And now we have a slight revision to the landing time. The landing time now reported by the Russian flight director at the Russian Mission Control Center as 1:15 and 34 seconds a.m. It was first reported at 1:17, but again, the official landing time now reported by the Russian flight director at 1:15 and 34 seconds a.m. Central Time, 1:15 and 34 seconds p.m. at Kazakhstan. You're now watching the extraction of the crew from the Soyuz TMA-15. Again, a rather methodical process to help the crew out of the Soyuz vehicle. Again, feeling the first effects of gravity after 188 days of weightlessness. That's Bob Thirsk from the Canadian Space Agency, the flight engineer, wrapping up his 6 months in space. This is a normal procedure for a Soyuz vehicle that lands in an upright position to essentially extract the crew member, place them in what amounts to a stretcher that enables them to be carried down to, in this case, to be placed in the all-terrain vehicle. As usual, there is when there is a typical landing operation involving helicopters, the crew will have a chance to spend some time in reclining chairs to acclimate themselves, but in this case, to expedite their return to Arkelik in the all-terrain vehicles, they were simply placed on stretcher-like devices, and as you saw in the case of Bob Thirsk, duplicating what occurred with the extraction of Soyuz Commander Roman Romanenko just a few minutes ago. They are placed on these stretcher-like devices and then simply slid into the all-terrain vehicles for the ride of about 80 kilometers back to Arkelik.
Same as the first crucial.
And now you see Frank De Winne, the European Space Agency crew member, completing his second landing in a Soyuz vehicle. He was on a Soyuz taxi crew in 2001 that delivered a fresh Soyuz vehicle to the fledgling International Space Station and its crew on board. De Winne wrapping up 199 days in space on 2 flights. He was again the commander of the International Space Station, the first European Space Agency commander of the station, being helped out by the recovery teams. He will be helped onto that soft stretcher to be carried just a few feet to be placed in the all-terrain vehicle. A wave for the cameras at the landing site. This video courtesy of Roscosmos from their all-terrain vehicle. And now De Winne to be brought toward the all-terrain vehicle.
От камеры чуть-чуть, от камеры. Ой, едут вот на одной. Тихо-тихо.